Bud's worked up. Sissy's shaded because she's too hot. We have the 1984 Chevrolet k30 3+3 crew cab. So we purchased this 2 or 3 months ago, and excuse me. We have shined, painted, polished, and replaced a whole ton of stuff to sanitize this truck up, and it's by no means finished. There's plenty of other stuff that can be done to this, but I'm happy with the way it is at this point. So I painted, it had a stainless mirror on one side, it had a white mirror on the other side. So I painted this mirror white because I'm all about the cheap. I like inexpensive, low option trucks and cars, because the less options you have, the less things that are going to go wrong. We have roll-up windows, manual locks, I put some sill plates down and painted them body color. Got power steering. We've got a factory trailer brake. I do not like that the previous owner put the speaker in the dash, but that can be fixed. The one over there that's in the metal part, that can't be fixed unless you patch it. I was going to pull that speaker out and paint it body color, but I couldn't get that sucker out. This is a pretty cool little cup holder that slides right into the ashtray. I have not had a cup holder for 4 trucks now. We've got dual tanks. I bought this $45 stereo from Amazon. I would have never cut the dash out. The previous owner cut the dash out, but if it had not have been cut out, I would have probably got one of those classic auto sound or whatever radios. So if you're putting don't be intimidated by a stereo. I used to be intimidated by stereos because all the wiring that comes off the back. You only have, essentially, you have power, you have ground, and then you have constant power. And those are the only ones that you really need to worry about. And you can go off the clock as the constant power. Just find constant power, for God's sakes. The clock actually still works. We've got delay wipers, and that's it. No cruise control. So anyway, you've got those 3, and then all the rest of the wires are speaker wires. So you've got like one green, purple, brown, or whatever. There's 2 of each, and that just goes to like your front speakers, your dashboard speakers. And then I made this little speaker box out of stuff that I had around, and then painted it interior brown, tan. So just to get a little sound in the back. The original vinyl seat in the back here was not in too great a shape, so I just put matching covers in here. The Suburban front seat that was in it, my intention was to find 80 to, I think k30 came to all the way up to 89, but I figured that would be easy with a square body to find a seat, but I have not found a seat. Eventually I will buy 2 new vinyl seat covers from like LMC Truck or something. We've got the new vinyl flooring, roll-up windows in the back. I had a 70 Ford crew cab, and the lock was in the back of the door and the window crank. So that's kind of inconvenient for when you are trying to open the window for the dogs. What else? Roll-up windows. I don't know. I replaced the dome light. My dad's truck, it was a 76 truck. It was not a crew cab. It had no headliner in it. So I ripped out the tattered nasty headliner that was in here, and beautiful paint is underneath there. So I just left that the way it is. It's a little tinny sounding when you close the door, but I can live with it. I love simplicity. Put a dash cover on it. The dash was brown and cracked. So we clean that up. Replaced the gas door and the rear trim. It just happened he had the trim, so we put some 3M double-sided tape in there. The tires are 36 by 9s. Painted the wheels, polished the caps. It's got just a little 2-inch exhaust. I would like to replace that eventually with just a single exhaust. New shocks in the back, 3-inch blocks. New U-bolts, Dana 60. Repainted the rear bumper. And rewired all the... It's pretty much wired for everything. I rewired everything, cleaned everything up, and it actually has plugs. So I can unplug it, pull the plugs out if I need to. It's fairly clean underneath here, except for the tattered exhaust. Factory clips, marker lights. I thought they were not factory, but they actually are, because I took one of them out, and it actually has like a factory cutout. It's got overhead lights as well that came with the package. Put the trim piece back on. I got the tailgate protector and painted it body color. I just don't want things to stand out. I like stock. I changed suspension and I changed tires, and that's about it. Every once in a while I change wheels, but it's pretty rare. Let's give it a shot underneath here. Well, I can't see anything underneath here. Dana 60 in the front. It is a 1-ton. Automatic transmission, obviously. Four-wheel drive. I don't exactly know what transfer case is in here. Yeah, I am kind of annoyed because it's a fairly nice dash. Sorry about all the junk. It has lighting underneath there. Replace the mirror. Rust isn't too terribly bad. I don't know why it's common to rust on the sill plate, but it is. Got the overhead clips, factory, Scottsdale edition. We've got the 350 V8. Found a bumper in the wrecking yard that was not bent up. Newer battery. Newer radiator. So I've done a lot of cleaning underneath here, a lot of pressure washing, a little bit of painting. I've eliminated all of the emission stuff. Replaced the exhaust manifold, gaskets, and yeah, all the emission stuff. Fairly new alternator. I like the fact that it's got a mechanical pump. I replaced one pump. I replaced a pump, 2 power window motors in the last Ford pickup truck that I had. That's why I like roll-up one. I like power steering, and I like automatic transmission. I would, at this point, I would take a 4-speed transmission also, but power steering. I would love to have air conditioning if it didn't come along with all the junk that clutters up the engine compartment. Yeah, the last Ford truck had a 460 in it, and the air conditioning and all the other garbage that goes along with it, and it is very tight in the engine compartment. Like the was it this side? The other side. I had to when I was taking the exhaust manifold off, I broke a bolt off, and with that Ford and the 460, there is no way in hell that I could have drilled that out and Healy coiled it. There is no room to do that. It's got Hydro Boost steering / brakes, new power steering pump. Get your belt tight. A lot of the squealing is belt tightness. Doesn't have anything to do with the pump. And you stick a crowbar in there and then pull up on it to get that belt as tight as you can. So yeah, 350. It's always a good engine. Nothing to worry about. What else? So I've had, I don't care what kind of truck it is. I don't care what kind of car it is. As long as it's cool, it doesn't matter. I'm not necessarily loyal. I have had Chevrolets, I've had Dodges, I've had, you name it, I've had it. Power wagons, I had a 63 Polara, Dodge Polara, super stock car. I was a Ford guy. Ever since I married my wife, I was a Ford guy. But so I had a Ford crew cab, 1970 short bed, 4-wheel drive crew cab. I picked that up for, it says $1,700, but I paid $1,500 for it. And this was probably 5 years, no, that was like 10 years ago that I had bought this. And it was obviously an ex-forestry truck, and it had original paint, but it was rough. The bed sides, if you can see in that picture, the beds, I mean, that is rough. So I knocked out all the dents that I could, and I fixed that truck up. And it was a super nice truck when I got done with it. It was original. It had a lot of patina, but it still had original paint. It was all one color. Here's the interior when I got done with it. I bought a parts truck, and so I put a video on YouTube, and that was a Highboy that I had. That was really nice, but you can't stick 2 dogs and 2 people in a standard cab. I've had, that was that was a long time ago, after I got out of high school, 73 Blazer with 38-inch tires. I had, I'm not sure what year, I think it was 78 with 38-inch tires. I don't know what that package is. Step side. So anyway, so I had a video on YouTube, and I kept getting people that wanted to buy it. And I said no. I said that I was never going to sell that truck. And then some of these people were persistent and eventually offered me a whole ton of money. And at that point, I was kind of tired of the whole manual steering, manual transmission, manual brakes, manual everything, and wanted something a little bit newer, and didn't appreciate that 70 Ford. So, like I said, I got offered a lot of money, and I sold out. And now at this point, I wish I hadn't sold it. But this, I'm happy to have this truck because they're getting harder and harder to come by, and they're more and more money. So I'm happy to have this, and I say this, but I will probably never sell this thing unless something major happens. As long as I've got power steering, that's all that really matters, and that's all I really need. But anyway, there we go. 1984 K30, 4 doors, 3+3, 1 ton. Maisie's still shading herself. Now she's going out in the sun. And Bud is watching for somebody to come and somebody to charge, because he's a naughty boy. Thanks for watching.